Just in, Princess Leonor stunned Spain with her wedding dress. A gentle breeze brushed across the stone courtyard of the Zarzuela Palace. The bells of Madrid rang softly in the distance. The people waited, expecting a royal dress of tradition, lace, and legacy. But what they saw next changed everything. Princess Leonor did not wear what Spain expected. She wore what her heart demanded. And the world is still trying to understand what it means. The story of Princess Leonor's wedding dress is not just about fashion. It's about identity, defiance, and a quiet revolution wrapped in silk. Because this wasn't a gown chosen by protocol, it was chosen by a woman stepping into her destiny. From the moment Leonor emerged from the palace gates, Spain gasped. The design was unlike anything worn by a Spanish royal bride before her. No traditional mantilla, no heavy cathedral train. Instead, a silhouette that whispered modern power and whispered independence. It was elegant, minimalist, almost symbolic, a reflection of the future queen's soul rather than the monarchy's expectation. But here's the twist no one saw coming. That breathtaking gown, it carried a secret only a few inside the palace knew. Beneath the layers of handcrafted fabric, embroidered in thread so fine it was almost invisible, was something profoundly personal, a message. A phrase that Leonor had chosen herself, stitched by hand, hidden close to her heart. Amor sin miedo, love without fear. Why those words? Why that risk? Because Leonor's life has never been her own. Every gesture, every word, every look, scrutinized by cameras, weighed by critics, measured by tradition. And yet, in that one hidden phrase, she claimed something private, something untouchable. Inside the royal household, whispers grew. Queen Letizia, proud but cautious, was reportedly stunned when she saw the first sketches. King Felipe, ever the statesman, struggled to balance pride in his daughter with concern over the symbolism. Too modern, some said. Too bold, others warned. But Leonor stood firm. She wasn't just choosing a dress. She was making a declaration. The designer, whose name was kept secret until the final reveal, was not from Paris or Milan, but from Spain itself. A young Spanish designer who once studied under one of Letizia's favorite couturiers. Leonor's choice was intentional, a statement of national pride and loyalty to her roots. She wanted the world to see that Spanish creativity still leads, not follows. But what made the gown truly unforgettable wasn't the fabric, the cut, or even the elegance, it was the story behind it. Because weeks before the ceremony, palace insiders claimed the first design was rejected. It was too traditional, too predictable. Leonor reportedly looked at it, paused, and said quietly, "It's beautiful. But it's not me." Those 5 words changed everything. That decision marked the beginning of tension behind palace walls. Tradition clashed with individuality. Advisors argued about public perception. Some feared backlash from conservative circles that value royal heritage and religious symbolism. Yet, Leonor's confidence never wavered. The final gown took nearly 6 months to complete. Hand-stitched silk sourced from Granada, fine lacework inspired by the gardens of Aranjuez, and a subtle motif of olive branches embroidered into the hem, a nod to peace, unity, and Spain's enduring spirit. Every detail was a message. Every thread, a conversation between past and future. And then came the day of revelation. The doors opened. The cameras flashed. Spain stood still. The soft ivory fabric shimmered under the light. Not ostentatious, not regal in the old sense, but radiant, youthful, and defiant. It was Leonor herself in dress form, pure, poised, and brave. Crowds erupted outside the cathedral, and the moment went viral in seconds. Across social media, phrases like, La Reina Moderna, flooded timelines. International press called it, the dress that redefined royalty. Even critics who had once doubted her maturity began to see something else, leadership. But behind the grace and glamour, another question began to surface. Who inspired her choice? Who gave her the courage to go against centuries of royal custom? Some point to Queen Letizia, who once walked her own controversial path as a commoner entering royalty. Others whisper that the influence came from someone far more private, a person close to Leonor's heart, whose quiet support gave her the strength to choose authenticity over conformity. And that's where this story deepens. Because in royal circles, love and politics are never separate. What Leonor wore may have been fashion, but the emotion driving it, that came from something real, something personal. Some reports suggest the hidden message, love without fear, wasn't only about courage, it was about devotion. A tribute to someone who stood by her through years of secrecy and silence. Could it be her rumored fiancé? Or someone from her military academy days, where Leonor learned not only duty but independence? No one knows for sure. But one thing is certain, whoever it was, they inspired the most powerful moment of her life. After the ceremony, Leonor was seen holding her mother's hand, smiling with quiet triumph. Letitia's eyes glistened, not from shock, but from pride. Because in that instant, she saw her daughter not as a princess, but as a woman ready to reign. As the day faded into evening, a rare photo surfaced. Leonor, standing by the palace balcony, the golden sunset washing over her gown. The embroidered words catching just enough light to be seen, if you looked close enough. Amor sin miedo, love without fear. That image broke records across Europe. It became a symbol not just of a royal wedding, but of evolution. The monarchy was no longer a cage of formality, it was becoming a mirror of its people, proud, independent, forward-looking. Even her critics softened. Commentators from London to Copenhagen admitted that Princess Leonor had done what few royals dared. She made history, not with a decree or a scandal, but with a dress. A single act of grace that carried the weight of a nation's expectations and transformed them into hope. Yet, the story didn't end there. In the days following, palace insiders revealed that Leonor had personally written a letter to the designer, a letter sealed in royal wax, thanking them for helping her express who she truly was. "You didn't make me a bride," she wrote. "You made me brave." And maybe that's the real story here. Not the silk, not the symbolism, but the courage to stand alone in front of millions and say, "This is me." Because in every generation, there comes a royal who dares to change the script. For Spain, that royal is Princess Leonor. And her wedding dress was not just an outfit, it was a statement of sovereignty, love, and selfhood. The world will remember this day not as a fashion moment, but as the day a future queen chose herself. And somewhere inside the palace, behind closed doors, a mother's quiet voice could be heard, softly, proudly, "She did it her way." Spain watched in silence. Then applause filled the air. The crown had never looked so human. The monarchy had never felt so alive. And the princess who stunned Spain became the woman who would one day rule it, with love. Without fear.